From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBIC, the PrimeTime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles Live, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you're feeling the same. And you know what time it is. It is Monday, and so you know I got the man himself, the Don of Cape Cod, Mr. Jeff Dawson. Let's go ahead and bring him on in. Jeff, what's going on? What's up? How you feeling? I hope the weekend was good to you, brother.
Weekend was good. College football was great. Baseball wasn't so great, but that's okay. Getting ready for our trip to New York City Friday and Saturday, and then in your neck of the woods, the 7th through the 17th in Las Vegas.
Well, you got to be there opening day. Opening Sunday, you know, within the Church of Degenerates. You know how it goes, Jeff. And you know, go ahead and see what we can see what we can do, see what we can pull. You know, I always feel good about opening day. I always can do some good things out, and I always feel like I can find myself something. But you guys will find that out in about another week or so when we do NFL Bet Exchange. I'm excited about that as well too. We got a crazy week 1 schedule as well, so that's going to be absolutely tremendous. That's going to be nuts. You got the Monday Night Football opener in Vegas, and then you got the Sunday Night Football opener in LA at the new beautiful SoFi Stadium. That's just a work of art. So, man, Jeff, you know what time it is. It's week 1 of college football. I got 5 significant games for you right here. Most of these teams are in the top 10, but these games are significant because they do line up very, very well, and I think these are the 5 games that will get the most action as well too, and that's why I do have these games set up here as well. So we got Ohio State set up for Thursday night against Minnesota. Former defensive coordinator, recruiter DJ Fleck, head coach in Minnesota, going against his Ohio State. You know, everybody, that's something that people will put into their notes, that they do got a guy that was at Ohio State, understands the Ohio State mantra, blase, blase, blase. But at the end of the day, though, this is going to be Ohio State. Everybody knows what time it is in this game. And I think Ohio State is going to probably have maybe some issues to start the game because they got a brand new quarterback. But I think all in all, though, Ohio State should be able to roll and rock as they usually do because they have Sunday guys that have came back on the offensive end. So the quarterback's not going to have that much of a issue, you know, with guys that he already knows. It's just that Justin Fields was such a superstar that when you think of the next guy up, can he achieve what Justin Fields was doing? Probably not. But you know what? This is the Ohio State, and they still got a monster running game that supports that quarterback as well too, who is a quarterback that can chuck it, but he can run it as well too. So I like where Ohio State's looking, but the plus 14 is a bit much to me on opening night on a Thursday in Minnesota as well too.
I mean, quick numbers. They got Ohio State basically winning 40-27. That's your quick numbers from the opening standpoint. The public's all in on Ohio State. 89% of the bets, 85% of the money. I'm seeing 14s all across your Vegas strip, but 13.5 at Pinnacle and Chris. If you look at some of the power rankings from some of the experts out there, there is a handful that actually have this number at 3.5, which is really mind-boggling. But I agree, Ohio State doesn't, what's the saying? They don't rebuild, they just reload. and,
Yes.
and it's a team that on paper is supposed to win by double digits. It's a team that might start slow, like you said, but they're going to wear you down. They're not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. Be intriguing to see as we get closer to kickoff. Do you get the 14 or 14 and a half, or does it stay at 13 and a half here? The contrarian play would be to take the home dog here with Minnesota. But we're keeping our eyes on that. And again, if it does ever lean to 14 and a half, expect a lot of the sharp guys to grab that extra half point and be on the Gophers for that kickoff.
I think the game actually falls to the under. I think it's going to be Ohio State beat down, but they don't get too crazy about it. You know what I mean? They're just going to run that clock, run plays, do as much as they can. Defense is going to have a star day. You know what I mean? Because they have a lot of guys that are Sunday players, and they need some good game film. Minnesota, you're victim number one, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. It is the Big Ten, so you can't just overlook your opponent. You have to be ready for whatever is going to happen. And this conference is starting off with a bang because they got a lot of conference games to start the season off. But when you have as many teams as they do in the conference, it's just like the SEC now. You just really got to lock it up very early in the year so then you can get those games in for the conference that you're supposed to get in and everything like that. So we move on, and let's go ahead and talk about a game that's going to be on Friday night. This is going to be an ESPN special as well, too. You know that 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, and it's going to be UNC at Virginia Tech. This could be the first big upset of a top 10 team this year as well, too. Jeff, I know that UNC does have a very good quarterback in Howe. But at the end of the day, Virginia Tech does have a great defense. But when they played last year in Chapel Hill, it was an absolute demolishing of the Hokies. And so I know they got that on the front of their mind as well, too, in this game. And I don't know if they can duplicate the same effort they did last year in a home game. And, with Virginia Tech, with the defense that they'll be bringing back this year. And, they might have some gimmicks and things up their sleeve to really compete here with the Tar Heels. So what are your thoughts on this?
Pops, when I first saw this game, that number looks so enticing for the UNC side. You got them ranked number 10. But if you read deep into some of what the experts are saying, this is a team that they are trying to say that can compete with Clemson this year. And that's offensively. We know defensively, that's a whole different ball game here. But that number at 5.5, I'm looking at it right now, and it's 5 all across the Vegas Strip. 5.5 right here at Westgate. Breaking down the tickets, 83% of the bets, 87% of the money all coming in on the Tar Heels, yet the line's not moving. So I'm going to state here today that the sharper, heavier money is on Tech. And to take a look at Tech at the plus 5.5, maybe even buy the hook and get them to a plus 6 in case of a missed extra point, and maybe even sprinkle a little money on that money line there. And the Hokies are a live dog here today, Pops.
Yeah, I like it. And it seems like a Friday night special as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward to our next game, which is going to be the highlight game of the week because they have who else? The Alabama Bama Slammers. Roll Tide, baby. Going against the U, who ain't, I don't like even calling them the U no more. They're going to have to start really kicking some butt to be the U again. They did real well last year, though. But this is a game. This is a measuring game right here. Now, will Alabama do what they always do here? It's the same game that they've been playing literally the last decade here in Atlanta. And they go in here and they literally just destroy the competition. It doesn't matter who they throw out there. They can throw the number 2 ranked team in the nation out there. Alabama's going to have their way with them. But does Miami have a shot at all, Jeff? Your thoughts?
They don't rebuild. They just reload. We know that. In this spot here, they've been averaging wins in that 18 points or better. Whether it's a USC, whoever it is, an A&M, they have found a way to cover this number. And Miami's got King at quarterback. We don't know which King it will be, showed flashes and then regress. Miami, listen, they're no cupcake. Absolutely no cupcake. The hardest part about betting Alabama, or betting against them, I should say, is the backdoor little Joe on both sides. Alabama's going to be up by 28 points for you to feel safe if Kings got the ball with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and vice versa. Alabama's not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. They're just going to keep coming, and coming. The points are really, really enticing. And with that many points, you're looking at an over-under of 62. So I guess if you did some quick math, can Miami get to 24, 27, 28 points against the stout Alabama defense? You got a first-time starter at quarterback with Alabama. They replaced Devontae Smith. They replaced Jason Waddle. The list is endless there. But, they just keep bringing them in. Real tough game. You would lean that it lands on 17, whether Alabama's up 24, Miami gets a late one. It's definitely a popcorn game for us right now, as you would say. Maybe a scoreboard watch to start. It's only Monday. Can this get to 19 and a half? Who knows? But listen, at the end of the day, if you bet against Alabama every week, you usually end up with egg on your face.
Right. And I say this, I'm going to tell this, Miami Hurricane fans, do not put yourself in a situation where you think your team's going to win this game. I think Alabama absolutely crushes. They roll. They got a defense that's going to probably send about 10 guys to the NFL. So, and there's only 11 guys out there. So the one guy that doesn't make it and wind up being an assistant coach or something. All right, so we move on. And this is I said the Bama game is a showcase game because it's Bama, but this is the game that is like a Final Four NCAA tournament type of game where Georgia and Clemson will have a little bit of an edge on either winning or losing in this game. You know what I mean? Because if, say, you run the table and you lose this game right here and you trying to get that fourth spot, you possibly get in because you lost to either or. You know what I mean? But I think that Georgia's should be the slight favorite here because I don't know about Clemson's quarterback. When I saw the way he played against Notre Dame last year in the regular season, and he wasn't poised under pressure, but he was able to have this awesome unit of guys keeping them together, Etienne and, the receivers and everything like that, and that great offensive line, then, pretty much, Clemson winds up losing when he needs to make quarterback decisions. And I hope that he won't still be that same quarterback coming into this year, knowing that he's playing with one of the greatest dynasties in all of college football. You know what I mean? I can call them a dynasty because they're in the CFP they've been in the CFP every single season since it's really started. You know what I mean? They've won 3 of the titles. So they are a team that knows that they can run the table and win the national championship because they play in a conference and really in a division that is inferior to them. So Clemson has everything to lose and Georgia has everything to gain, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on this?
I have to go back about 10 days ago. Georgia was 8-1 to win the national title. They dropped to 6-1. So the mentality here is this, and I talked this to a few experts out in Vegas on this. Well, either what they did is they took the plus 8-1 on the national title and are betting Clemson money line here, or vice versa. So in other words, when you look at this game, Clemson can lose this game and then sheet out and still be in the Final Four. If Georgia loses this game, they technically cannot lose an SEC game because it's hard to get in, as we know, with the 2 losses to get into the Final Four. Okay, so the quarterback issue is a question mark. I think Georgia's going to keep it tight. I think defensively they can match up with Clemson. I give the slight edge to Georgia right now, and I'm looking at the tickets right now, and you're getting more tickets bet on Georgia, but more money coming in on Clemson, and the line is stuck at 3.5, and actually flat 3s all across the Vegas Strip right now. So I'm here on Georgia. Grab them plus the 3.5. Sprinkle some money on them in the money line. I'm taking Georgia here. I think they keep it close. I think the Clemson quarterback makes a mistake or two, and Georgia wins this game outright.
All right, all right, all right. So we'll see how it goes. Georgia is going to be a rare dog in that game as well too, and kind of like them as a rare dog on a neutral field as well too. It's kind of like a bowl game to start the season. It does. That sounds good to me, Jeff. Sounds real good. All right, so we end off with this Sunday game. That's going to be the final game of the week, and we got number 9 Notre Dame walking up to Florida State, hoping to get themselves a nice little win over the Seminoles, who seem to be on a rebuild right now as well too. But this game is dangerous for Notre Dame because Florida State is playing with, it's going to be a lot of sentiments to the late Bobby Bowden, the greatest coach in their school's history. And this is going to be huge when it comes down to it. And I think that Notre Dame should be feeling all the pressure. But at the same time, though, Florida State is a team that's been very disappointing in the last few seasons as well too. So you can't really think of much. Like if you think that the bottom might fall out, it could fall out in this game right here. But that already has occurred with Florida State. Florida State is went in reverse, and at this time they're rebuilding the program. And I think that it's going to be a while for Florida State, but they can still get some fun wins over the years as well too, as they get back to trying to be a dominant force in college football. What are your thoughts on this game? Do you think Notre Dame even has a shot to be in the CFB this year as well too?
Notre Dame just always finds a way, a way. And on paper, this is a good spot for them. I do agree with the Bobby Bowden passing, and these kids probably only know him. They probably had to Google him. Some of them had to Google him because they don't know who the real Bobby is. Line opened at 9.5. It's creeped down to 7.5 all across the Vegas Strip. At Caesars right now, it's a flat 7. So they're jumping on the dog here. Again, on paper, Notre Dame, number 9 in the country. Just year in, year out, Mr. Kelly finds a way to, just keep this team rolling. I expect a solid effort from FSU. It comes to the turnover battle. If they can win the turnover battle, I think they cover and cover real easily. If they're turning the ball over early, Notre Dame gets out 10-0, 17-3. I think it will be lights out. Lean the dog here, grab the 7 in the hook now versus if it goes to 7 or even 6.5 at kickoff.
Let's do it. Let's go. I think that's a good bet right there. I think that should work out. I think Notre Dame does get the slight win here, though, but I think it's going to have to be close. You know what I mean? It's going to be a close one for them. And, be ready for them to be kicking a final field goal or something of that nature. But let's go ahead and jump into the NFL real quick. We're almost to the near end of the 32 teams. Wasn't 32 days, but 32 teams have been 30 teams have been reviewed as of now, and then we got 2 more to go. So today we got Tampa Bay, and they like to call them Tampa Bay now because Tom Brady has pretty much put his brand all over the place here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers have a lot of people in their corner this year for a repeat and all that good stuff. So I think that this team, as long as the defense stays healthy, they'll be in good position at the end of the year. But I don't see a Super Bowl, but I do see this team dominating the NFC South.
It's Tom. Last year, the perfect storm, struggled early, bye came perfect, win the last 5 games to end the regular season. Go to Washington, no quarterback, 11-point favorites, win there. Go to the Saints. Drew Brees couldn't throw it over 20 yards. Short underdogs there, win there. And then go to Green Bay, where the ball was taken out of Rodgers' hand the last 2 possessions, win there. And then the Super Bowl, the perfect storm. Both left and right tackle out for Kansas City. Defense lathering up, and it was, Katie barred the door and boxed the wire. Tom wins another one. Respect them. Do I like them? It is what it is. Going to be a tough out. I think I'm going contrarian here. I think the defense is going to carry them. Yeah, everyone expects Tom and company to score 31 points a game. They have one of the best young defenses in the land, a great defensive coordinator, and they're in a division that is trending down in regards to Matt Ryan in Atlanta. The Saints without a home this week. I don't think they're coming back home because of Ida, and they'll be back next week. no Breeze, Winston and Taysom Hill quarterbacking, and a Carolina team again, which I think is going to be sneaky defensively and offensively, but a division that they're supposed to win handily. I think they win the division with ease. I think that they're most likely in the conference, the NFC Championship, but as we talked off the air, I do not have them going to the Super Bowl.
Well, from what I'm seeing right now, I think Tom Brady is going to run into some. I think Tom's going to run into some old. Well, now he's 44, 45 years old, whatever, and I think he's going to run into some Father Time as well too. Father Time, hello, Father Time. How you doing, Father Time? So I think that he'll be ready to run on. I think he'll be ready to finally ride that white horse on down to the sunset, Jeff. You know what I mean? Because he said that last knee surgery was tough to get back from. Yeah, Tom, you're old, so we'll see how it goes. I think that he had his one last shining moment there, and we'll see how things build up, man. At the end of the day, I think that Tampa Bay is going to be good, but it's all based on Brady's health as well, too. Hopefully, nothing happens to Brady. We want Brady here to go a full season, but I think he's going to run into the same woes he did a few years back with the Patriots when they lost to the Titans when it comes down to the playoffs. I think it's going to be a picture-perfect season, but then when we get down to the end of the road at the end of the year, that's when we'll be seeing its ugly head, in my opinion.
I agree.
So expect great things early and expect Father Time to show up in December when he has to go play in the cold weather games. All right. So with that, we will be right back. Me and Mr. Dawson. And pretty much once we get back, we'll be talking some baseball. And baseball is getting down to the nitty gritty, Jeff. We're in the stretch drive for baseball. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But you guys stick around. We'll be right back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Eagles, live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and the man himself, the Don of Cape Cod, Mr. Jeff Dawson, and we will be right back.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
And it was a rare weekend this weekend, Jeff. The Dodgers dropped 2 out of 3 to the Rockies. LA's on fire. Oh, my God. Call the National Guard. What kind of stuff? What was that this weekend? Dodgers had a perfect opportunity to be a half game out this weekend. You knew it was going to be a rough weekend for the Giants because they're going to Atlanta, hottest team in baseball, and one of the best home teams in baseball. And the Braves did their part, but the Dodgers couldn't do their part. So pretty much the Dodgers find themselves in the same exact position that they've been in pretty much like the last 2 months, 2.5 games out from the Giants. But it's okay because there's a series on the way, and it's this weekend in the Bay. So we're going to see who the winner of the division is going to be with this series right here, I think, to be honest with you. And you got teams coming back from cross country and all that good stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But I think that you got Mad Max tuning it up. You're gonna have Clayton Kershaw back in about a week or two, and he won't be, the creme de la creme, to be honest with you, but he'll probably be better than David Price because David Price is good, but I think that the bullpen is the right option for him when the Dodgers are in the playoffs. Two to three innings, you know what I mean? And don't overwork him too much because I don't know what it is, but he seems to be the most hit guy in the rotation nowadays. But that's okay. He still is who he is. So the blue crew, I'm not worried about it because I don't really even feel like it's going to be that much of an issue if the Dodgers have to play in the wild card. Even though I know you have to take that game very seriously, the Reds are good, but at the end of the day, the Reds won't have enough to beat the Dodgers, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because come on, they couldn't even get a hit against the Braves. They're not going to be able to do that with the Dodgers. The Dodgers will be up 4-zip before they can even blink. Because they're going to try to eat up every great pitch there is. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I think the Reds will be praying for the Giants more than the Dodgers at this point.
I mean, it's just the same old, same old. When you're right there on the precipice, a weekend like this happens. And we've been talking about this since April, May, June, July, August. Now we're about to be in September. I'm not saying it's the year for the Giants, but I think it's the year for the Giants to shock the world and win the West. I mean, no one had it. No one had it on paper. They just go about their business. And again, today they open up a series at home, and they're plus one. What do we got them at right now? They're plus 120 at home, 125, and they're against a Brewers team that is getting a lot of talk about too, as that team with the front three, with a team that's hitting well in the clutch and with a strong back end. They can put it together and win a 4-game series against the Braves, against the Giants, against the Dodgers. So the NL is definitely heating up. Yes, it would be great for you to win the division. It's not imperative because I expect we'll probably make it that where Mad Max gets the ball in the wild card game, and then you still got your rotation set up, so he'll be ready for game 4 when you need him. So you're fine. No pressing. You'll be fine.
Yep. Well, that's what everybody's hoping for, and I don't think that it should be that much of a, let's breathe it out type of situation. I think that everything's gonna work itself out when it's all said and done. But it's gonna be a fun on the NL side of things, though. But when you're a team like how the Brewers have been winning all season, you kind of haven't had that much, you haven't had that much struggle, you know what I mean? And sometimes that bites you in the butt in the playoffs as well, too. But they're a team that excites me, and I think that they do have a strong possibility of winning a World Series this year if if the usual suspects aren't a part of it. So,
Well, I hate to do it this way, but I'll bring up a little of the corny side is the fact that 2 years ago, Tampa Lightning win, and then what happens? The Tampa Bay Bucks win. Okay. This year, Tampa wins again in hockey. Do the Bucks repeat? But my question is, in the NBA, who won the national championship this year?
in the NBA, who won the national championship?
Who won the NBA title this year?
The Bucks.
There you go. I'm not saying the Brewers. I'm saying you're getting a good price on the Brewers. I'm just saying. And they did have adversity to start the season. They started off awful. They started and they struggled. But their front three has been electric. They got Hader in the back there. They got some good arms in the back. Yelich has had back problems all year. They're coming together. They're going to win their division hands down. The point of the matter is, again, I'm being a little, sarcastic, tongue in cheek here, but the Bucks come out of nowhere, win the NBA title, and the Brewers are sitting there. I'm not saying in the catbird seat, but they can match up with anyone in the NL and actually in baseball right now. So, I a little beer and pizza money right now. I don't know what you can get them to win the NL and to get them to win the World Series, but just throwing that out there, Pops.
They did have a struggle though with the old rival Minnesota this weekend though, but that's different though. That's an old rival though. All right, so let's move ahead. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We got ourselves some pretty good games. We got a good old fashioned game right here, an old school type of game. Cardinals and the Reds. These guys been going at it for like 200 years, Jeff. So let's see how it goes. St. Louis versus Cincinnati. Catch that train to Cincinnati. The team that when you get traded to either or team, it's like the Spider-Man thing where it's like same person, doppelganger, red and white. One has a SL with the bird, and the other one has a C and a little man with a big baseball head. So tonight, I think that this game winds up being a very, very good game. But I think what happens here is that the Reds can get a win here, but they got to be careful though, because they are going against a Cardinals team that still thinks that they could possibly get to this wild card because they never stop fighting the Cardinals. But I'd like the over here in this spot. What are your thoughts about this one?
Leicester versus Castillo. First thing you got to realize is which Leicester you're going to get. Has been better of late since coming over there from the Cubs, and Castillo for Cincinnati, who's had a great second half. 59% of the bets, 86% of the money's come in on Cincinnati. They opened up at minus 180, now minus 205. You can get them at 190, 200 right here at the Westgate, 202 at Circa, and an even 200 at Caesars. Definitely a public play. Just keep an eye on that. Kind of opening thoughts is Cincinnati. Vegas has them winning 5-4, maybe 5-3. Does Cincinnati get to the 6 is the question. You're under over. Opened at a flat 9, now currently 9.5 juiced under 117, 120 at right here at the Westgate. Let me see here. 61% of the bets are on the over, but 95% of the money is on that under. Yet the line went from 9 to 9.5. So some sharper, heavier money on the over 9.5 here, Bubs.
All right, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move forward. Red Sox versus the Rays in a very important game for the Red Sox to try to keep up, period, man. Like, it's just been a total epic fail for the Red Sox moving forward. There were no expectations for this team to start the season. Then the 2 months in, it was like, well, maybe we'll be hanging up another World Series banner here because, we got quarterback and it doesn't matter who on the roster. Core is the manager. We'll be good. And now we're getting into the dog days of the season, and the Red Sox are not reliable as they were to about three months ago, maybe even 4 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying they're collapsing. I'm not saying that they're falling apart, but it pretty much is a state of emergency when you have the Yankees pull off what they just pulled off, and now they're 3.5 games ahead of you.
Yeah, tough game last night as well. They had a big lead and they faltered. And the Indians is one of those teams that are relentless. They won't give up. Now they come to Tampa. Myself and Scotty on the Breakfast Bankroll this morning talked about the Red Sox first 5 at plus 118 today. Get that edge with Pavetta over Patino. It's a series the Sox need to win, take 2 out of 3 and move on out. Bet-wise here, 67% of the bets and 84% of the money all coming in on Tampa. They opened up at 125. Now currently 135 here at the Westgate, 143 at the Circa right now. So contrarian side would be the Red Sox. If you are leaning Red Sox, I suggest the first 5, so you're not worrying about that back end, which has struggled of late. Your under over opened up at 8.5 and is now up to 9, and that's with 66% of the bets on the over and 81% of the bets on the under. So again, a sharper, heavier money moving on the over 8.5 here, Pops.
All right, so we got the Red Sox and the Rays. The Rays trying to run away with the East right now, but they got the Yankees on their tail, and the Red Sox are not far behind. So we do expect a wild card game between the Yankees and the Red Sox, I'm guessing as well too. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so we move on and we have the Rockies at the Rangers. I know a lot of people thinking like, why are you throwing this one in here? But I usually throw an under the radar game in here. Bad, this is bad on bad. But the Rockies got the chest poked out because they did a number to the Dodgers this weekend. So they can be trusted with a minus 155 against a Rangers team that has a pitcher that you never heard of. So we'll see how it goes and we'll see how it shakes out. But I think that the Rockies, who were dominant against the Rangers in Denver, will continue to be dominant against the Rangers, because that's just how it works when we play these interleague games. If one of the teams is dominant against that team, they're going to just stay dominant against the team. And it seems like it just keeps going and keeps going. And this is going to be a quick 2-gamer. So we're going to see how it goes, man. But I think the Rockies are good money tonight, but we'll see how it goes and see how it shakes out.
Yeah, first-time starter, Alexi versus Marquez, who's been lights out. This number opened at 146 on the Rockies. Been some reverse line movement coming in on the Rangers and the first-time starter. You can get the Rangers right now plus 127 here at Circa, and also plus 127 here at the Westgate. For the ticket count, 64% of the bets are coming in on the Rockies, and 63% of the money also coming in on the Rockies, yet the line has dropped 12 cents. So some reverse line movement coming in on the home dog Rangers with Alexi. Your under over opened at 8.5, is still at 8.5. 70% of the bets on the over, 59% of the money also on the over, yet the line hasn't moved. We call that a line freeze. So it looks like the sharper, heavier money leaning on the under 8.5 here tonight, Pops.
Well, all right. It should be a good one tonight over at the ballpark in Arlington, even though it's not called that anymore. It's good old Global Life, but it is a beautiful stadium. So hopefully they'll go ahead and we'll see the Rockies get a good win tonight.
Agreed.
The purple people eaters. The purple gang. All right. So we move on and we have a NL West matchup tonight. Padres have fallen off the face of the earth, but they're still going to come in here minus 175. Diamondbacks are actually playing their best baseball of the season after literally like losing 56 out of 70 games or something of that nature, because they were bad, dude, for a long, long time this season. But it seems like when they had this, it seems like seeing Philadelphia kind of put this team in a groove a little bit. And they were very close all weekend. They were able to get 2 big wins over them as well, too. And they did the same thing against them last week. I think that coming into this game with the Padres team that's just playing god-awful baseball at this point right now, because, they're just not healthy right now, and they're making adjustments at a time where you should be comfortable with everything you have at this point. So that reflects back onto the manager as well, too. So we'll see how it goes tonight, but I think that the Diamondbacks are good money, and that's why I'm going to put them down as my dog other day with the plus 145, and I think that you'll be getting some more value on them by the time you get to the first pitch.
The collapse of the Padres has just been epic. Unfortunately, I feel for our buddy Craig. Their front end pitching let them down so bad that they just destroyed the bullpen. And Tatis in and out of the lineup a handful of times, and it's just been ugly. But with that said, tonight we had the Padres open up minus 166, steam to 184. Currently here at the Westgate, it is minus 184, and at Circa, it's 183. And 67% of the bets and 67% of the money all coming in on the Padres, the Friars. Money and tickets moving in the right direction. Your under-over opened at 9, is now currently 9.5, juiced under 107. With that, 53% of the bets and 67% of the money all on the under. So some reverse line movement on the over. Less bets, less money coming in on the over, yet the line did move from 9 to 9.5. So keep an eye on that over as well, Pups.
And in a funny situation tonight, you got a Brewers team that's heavily favored over the Giants tonight in San Francisco. So we were just talking about the Brewers, but the Brewers are getting respect from the odds makers as well too, because they've been put in this situation a few times this season, and they have performed very well against some of the best teams in baseball. So you do respect where this is coming from in a sense with the Brewers, as hot as they've been. And the Giants got Johnny Cueto on the mound, but Johnny Cueto got good value for you tonight as well too. But I think that what I see here is a very close game, and I feel like it's a run line situation. And I think the Giants, I know they're plus 120, but you can take the insurance money and go ahead and bet the minus 140 on this, and you can go ahead and just put yourself in a good position to, if they win, good for them. But keep it close. If you lose by a run, you still cash the ticket, and you just move from there. I think this is a smart play here, and I think that a lot of people should try to invest in that. But a lot of folks who look at it and say, "Why not just take the money line?" That's fine as well too. But just give yourself a chance. Just anytime we use the spread or run lines or things of that nature, it's always an insurance situation when we're on the plus side.
Yeah, it's the respect card again. In come the Giants at home versus the Brewers. Yet the Brewers are favored. Burns has been absolutely lights out. He's been phenomenal. And yet Cueto, it's his second game back from the IL. So you look at the ticket count, 45% of the bet. I'm sorry, 55% of the bets, 65% of the money is on the Giants. And yet Milwaukee opened up minus 133, and they're currently 133. So you're getting a line freeze. You're getting everyone biting on the Giants, and the line hasn't moved. So again, keep an eye on the Brewers with Burns. Tough number. But, I see the value in the home dog here with the Giants. I just don't know what they're going to get from Cueto there. On your under-over, let's see here. Opened at 7.5, still at 7.5. 59% of the bets on the under, 50-50 split on the under-over for the money. Opened at 7.5, over 109 is now 7.5, over 107. So a coin toss there. This looks like your basic 4-3 coin flip. Who wins the game, Pops?
Gotcha. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Talkin Tickets. And today's Talking Tickets, we have ourselves a very, very good ticket, in my opinion. I think it's a great ticket, to be honest with you, but that's just me. 60-1, Jeff. That's hard to duplicate. 60-1. That's a good ticket right there. You got the over 9 with the Cardinals and the Reds. You got the Rays tonight with the 1.5. I like them to go ahead and beat your Red Sox by 2 or more runs tonight. I got the Rockies as a money line play tonight at minus 145. Then I got the Diamondbacks, as I said before, dog of the day, plus 165. Then we have the Giants at plus 1.5. Just keep the game close. You can win, but if you don't win, lose by a run. And then I got the under 8.5 here with the Astros and the Mariners tonight. And I know I kind of skipped out on this one, but the Astros and Mariners game, you got the Astros coming here minus 165. Mariners are plus 140. Both these pitchers kind of keep things tamed, and that's why I'm going ahead taking the under 8.5 here in that spot, Jeff, for the 60-1 ticket today on the Talking Tickets. And I think that hey, you know what? Let's get started. Let's get Christmas started early.
Hey, last week of the month, they hit that 60-1. You got your rent or your mortgage paid for September. So
yes.
always single what you like, as
Yes,
our boys Cameo sang way back in the day. And good ticket there, rooting at home for you, Pops.
All right. Hey, I'm always rooting for you. I know that you got some plays going on, but I know you can't release those because those are exclusive to the ECSI family. So pretty much no worries there. But all in all, though, Jeff, I'm excited. We got college football coming up this week. Quite possibly, I can try to get you here on Friday so we can go ahead and talk about some early morning games Friday and everything like that, if you like, if you have time for that. But, pretty much college football is here. And let's go ahead and rock and roll, man. I know that, New Mexico State let me down big. New Mexico State should have been Illinois. And you told me that they could, you told me that they were playing midget while everybody else is playing gremlin. I mean, they're playing midget ball while everybody else is playing like, superior ball. And that's exactly what happened to with UTEP, who might be a little bit better than they've been the last few seasons as well, too. So maybe I might have overestimated that thing just a little bit.
Yeah, week 0, I think the headliner is that Scott Frost and Martinez are over their skis. It's a team in turmoil, a team that is not ready for prime time, a team that does not know how to get itself ready, never mind make second half adjustments or whatever it is. And in some of the other games, again, UConn is who we thought they were. Fresno State could have easily scored a 50 burger on it if they wanted to. UConn, as someone said, had 8 months to prepare and couldn't score a point. But again, like Martinez in Nebraska, UConn had a handful of wide open wide receivers that would have scored touchdowns that the quarterback just couldn't even hit. So just take it game by game, week by week. Unfortunately, Friday we will be live in New York City, your other stomping ground. I'll be there Friday and Saturday, and then on a plane Tuesday to Las Vegas after that. So that Monday we should be available to get one show in before we head to Vegas and to see you hopefully later on that week in the opening week of college, the NFL. And who knows, we will have, hope God willing, the NFL bet exchange as well. So a lot coming here. Anyone here following that is not following ECSI, go to Twitter, as Pops would say, and the EC Sports Invest. Just follow us. We'll follow you right back. If you needed to send us an email, send it to eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. You can check out our new and improved website at www.eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. We do have a first-time client want the VIP experience, text and email sent to you daily for $99, and you can save $276 on your first month there. Take a look at it. Great way to go to work, to do your thing, and then have the place just pop up on your phone like that. But looking forward to the fall, Pops. As you know, the move is moving, the feet are always moving, and they're in the right spot with the primetime angles and the ECSI crew.
Got you, man. All right. So with that, that's going to be a wrap on the show today. I thank you guys very much for tuning in and everything like that. Jeff, I thank you for joining us today as usual on Monday. And you guys already know, he gave you guys the spiel, so you guys go ahead and check that on out. And I got my stuff for you right there on the bottom for you to read and everything like that, so I don't need to repeat it. So all in all, man, it feels like it's going to be a great week, man. So hopefully we'll all be big winning this weekend. I look forward to it. So with that, this is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Anchors Live with the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.